You know how calling someone by their genetic makeup, by their DNA and stuff is going to be a pain to refer to that person by because there's so much code going on. So it's easier to call someone by their name, and that's kind of what variable is. I wrote some code over here just to explain how variables work. So what you do is you initialize a variable with what kind of a input it's going to take. In this case, it's going to be integer. And then we assign a variable to that. And then we try to print that variable. If you have come from Python, then you'd know that you can just do print and the variable name and we'll just print it out. But when you do that with variables, look at what happens. Causes a segmentation fault. Why? Because of the I that we are printing here cannot be directly printed. See what happens if I try to build it. It's going to throw a warning saying that, hey, you are trying to point it without casting it. To solve that, we have to cast it by using %d. D in this case is referencing to integer, the first integer, which is I over here. And then we can comma I. And look what happens now. If I build it, it builds successfully. And if I try to run it, and there you go. I is 2. There is a better way where you can write this more efficient way, which is int I is 2. Now you might ask, what if we have two variables, right? Let's do that. Int j is 3. And we want to print both of them. So we do print f. We have seen that we need to define it, reference it by using d. So we do I is d and j is %d. And then we're going to reference it as I, comma j. What happens here is if we build it, then it's going to throw us I is 2 and j is 3, which is true for now. But look at what happens if I reverse the order, j and I. If I build it like that, then we get I is 3 and j is 2, but that's wrong. And that's because the first %d is referencing to the first variable that we pass. So a quick fix for that would be j is %d and I is the respective references over here. And look what happens now. J is 3, which is true, and I is 2. That's the way we want it working, right? What if we have different variable types? Let's say float f is 3.14 and string, for string we have to use character, and then for that's only going to take in one letter. What do you want? If you want multiple letters, you do asterisk and then you type in s or anything you want. We're going to call it what's up. Now the way you print it is by you reference different things with different letters over here. So for integers, we have %d. For float, we have %f. And for characters, we have %s, s being string. Now, how do we reference it? We start by %s. And then maybe we can throw in a new line. And then we're gonna put I is %d. Maybe another new line. Why not? J is %d. F is %f. New line. And S is %s. How about that? And we're going to put another new line after that. Now we have to reference all these. The first one is string, a character. So we're going to put the variable s over here. And then we have I, then we have j, then we have f. Then we have S again for some reason. We don't really need it, but sure. We close it, we close the function, and then we build it. Now it's going to throw us a warning. Why is it initializing character from an integer? Now the reason why we are getting an error is because single quotes in C are for single characters and not for double characters. Unlike Python you can get away with whatever you want. If we try to run it, if we try to build it, it builds. And if we try to run it, it runs. And that's variables for you. Everything else is built on these four things. Well, these three things and maybe a character. Character K is C. And maybe if we call it C, then look what happens now. Boom. C is what's up. That's not supposed to happen, because we have to reference K over here. Print F, S, D. That's going to return another function, because for single line over here, we have to call it %C because it's just one character. For multiple ones, we have to call it S. And once we try to build it, it builds. And if we run, it runs. Everything is fixed and the world is saved. Most of programming is in fact like debugging. Coding is actually very less important than you think it is. Most of it is like getting things right. So that's variables for you.